Okay. There we go. Alright, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I decided to do a live stream today. And hey, Polly. Hey, Drax. Hey, Mark. I decided to do a live stream today because I was a little bit behind on the video I was working on, and I didn't want to rush it. I was working on a video that I probably shouldn't have scheduled so quickly. That was my Neon Genesis Evangelion, a review of all the rebuild movies at the same time in one video. And by last night, I finished the first one, and I didn't realize how long some of the other ones were. So that's a lot of content right there. So that's gonna be later in the week. I'm thinking about maybe saving that for Friday. I need to find some shows or something that are shorter, like little short OVAs again, because I've been getting it into movies, which have been taking longer. Finding some more shorts and then doing those. That way I can get them ready in advance. That way I'll be a little bit. I'll have a little bit more slack to mess around with in terms of making videos. I'm muted again. No, no. Okay, good. So the audio is good. So how's everybody doing? What's going on? Anything? You guys watch anything good? Yeah, haven't seen me for a while. I haven't been doing live streams. I just haven't felt like it. I kind of appreciate sometimes just not doing this. I don't know, it's just nice to have a break sometimes. I kind of got into, I remember how I used to be when I was working on my eBay store, when I was putting in like 70, 80 hours a week doing that. And it was just nice. It was quiet. I didn't have to talk to anybody. And as a big introvert, that's nice. So I remember that, where it's just like put up as much listings as possible. And I basically applied that logic, the mindset or work ethic to YouTube. Just pump out those videos. And it's been great. Bubblegum Crisis. I do plan on doing that at some time, yeah. I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but it is on the list. Listening to some music here and there, nice. Yeah, so right now I'm working on a review for all of the Evangelion rebuild movies, which I saw the first one last night, and I've had these on Blu-ray for a long time, and I just never watched them. And you know, I don't have the newest one yet, but they're all on Amazon too. So I've been watching that, and I feel like I'm enjoying it a lot more this time around because a viewer, we were having the Patreon Discord chat a couple weeks ago, and a viewer was telling me like even we were talking about Evangelion stuff and how people tend to overanalyze it, and he was just talking about how Hideaki Anno is really into tokusatsu stuff, and considering that we were talking about tokusatsu stuff with Gridman and Dynazenon, we were referencing all of the tokusatsu references and inspirations in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now that I'm watching the rebuild movies, I really see that, and I have a whole new appreciation for it. Hey, Anime Backwind. So this jacket, I've been filling it with patches. And the thing is, I feel kind of bad because I'm just always having the same patches on it all the time. I bought a embroidery machine, and the point was that whenever I had a show that I really loved so much that I'd give it like a 9 or a 10, I would make a little patch for it with my embroidery machine. And the only patch I was able to make was this Skies of Arcadia patch, which was just a test. This one I bought, this little Full Metal Alchemist one I bought, this one right here I bought, which the first few times I wore it on camera, like you only saw this little bit of it, so I was hoping that nobody would say, hey, is that like a Nazi symbol you got in your arm there? Because it's got like the red and the white in the center, and then there's like some sort of black symbol, you can't see what it is, you know how people are on the internet. But the embroidery machine broke right after doing this one, and then I sent it in for repair. 2 weeks it was out, and then as soon as I got it back, I did a little test circle, and it broke during that. And then they had me ship it off to Tennessee, and it's still sitting there. And I am kind of, I don't know how to feel about this because I spent a lot of money on that embroidering machine, and it's not working right. I think they should just replace it because at this point, technicians have handled it more than I have. All I've done is like a test patch, and then I've done this custom one right here. But I had so many other test patches set out. I had one for Odd Taxi, Gridman, Dynazenon, just little tiny little things. But yeah, So I really like this thing. I like this a lot more than the suits, actually. Great anime. Sadly, had to sell some because I had no desire to play it anymore. Well, you know, that's the thing about a collection. You can't have all the space in the world. It's either when you're collecting anime, space or money is going to be at a premium. Sometimes both. And sometimes you gotta maximize the level of enjoyment that you have with your collection. That's why I sold my Evangelion Silver set, the thin packs, because I never plan on watching it again. But yeah, have I noticed that we usually buy our anime from a website that's named after an American multi-Oscar winning film? What website are you talking about? Right Stuff? By the way, you guys buy an anime, I got affiliate links in the description. It helps us both out, I'm just saying. Or it doesn't really help you out that much. I get like a kickback. Not doing eBay is COVID related. Well, there's a multitude of things related to that. Partially it's COVID related, but also as a motivational thing because I just crunched the numbers and realized that the things that I was selling I would never get anywhere with it. Like the first year I did eBay, I made 20,000, but in profit that was only like 10K, and I was working like 70 hours a week, and that's lower than minimum wage right there. So, you know, I just put it on hold, and I just rather watch anime, to be honest with you. So right now I'm in a place where I got my eBay store set up. Every now and then I get a sale. I got other investments going on and other things that I'm able to just kind of get by with money, but I realize like, hey, this might be the last opportunity that I have to do YouTube videos, so I'm just going at it full force, trying to get out as many videos as I can. I don't know like what my in-game goal is with this, because like it's not obviously a career, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that I do my best to get information out there to people about these anime so that they don't miss out, because that's like the main goal of the channel. I want people to know about great anime and watch them. There's a film called Right Stuff. I never knew about that. It's good to see you again. You're one of my favorite people on the internet. Well, I appreciate that, Captain, and I really appreciate that you're active in the Discord free chat and that you watch some of the shows I recommended. It really makes me happy to hear that. Like when you were telling me that you were watching Toward the Terra, even though you didn't like it as much as me, but still, you know, it's great that you are checking out some of the stuff I recommend. That's a pretty cool idea to put your favorite anime on the jacket, yeah, but I'm probably running out of space in the long run, so I'll probably have to buy more jackets. And I'm also worrying about it because it's really hard to find a jacket that fits me too. So I just thought that would be a little nice accessory piece to it. Do I plan on going to school and getting a skill? No, not really. There's nothing really that I want to do. Like, I've never had a goal in life to do anything, to be honest with you. Even when I was a kid, they'd ask me, what do you want to do for a living? And I'm just like, why are you asking me that? I don't have any idea. It's sad, but it's the truth. All I want to do is just sit around and play video games and stuff. And it's a possibility now, but when you look at people who stream and all this stuff, I don't want to do that. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make the best for the moment, and we'll see where that takes me. So I guess if I were to do anything, I'd probably try and do something related to real estate, which I kind of sort of have the option to do that, but I'd rather do stocks, you know. I don't have to think about it much. I did try actually trading stocks. I was a day trader for a couple months, and I did terribly. So it's the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life, and I don't want to do that. So I just leave it in a couple, you know, blue chip stocks and just let it go. I like the original Eva and End of Evangelion, but I don't really like the rebuild movies, to be honest. I'm really enjoying them right now, or the first one anyways. I don't know how I feel about the others, since I'm only about 15 minutes into the second film. And did like Toward the Terror, just voice acting. Yeah, dude, don't watch the dub of Toward the Terror. Please don't do that. Have I watched Mother of the Goddess Dormitory? I've never heard of that. What is that? And by the way, anything that you bring up and I sound interested in, link me some, like if I've never heard of it before, link me a profile on Mal or not Mal, or yeah, Mal profile comments or Twitter or something like that. Because, you know, I'll forget it. Check some of these. Sold $1,000 of anime this week of blind buys. Wow. Well, I hope you weren't like super busy with that. Hopefully it was just like a small amount of things that went rare or something like that. But that's the problem, because I was selling off some of the blind buys that I had in my collection, and it just got to the point where the cost or the value of the item was lower than the effort it would take for me to sell it. So it just sat around. Like, I still got some of those blind buys that I just couldn't get rid of because I didn't even want to bother listing it. It just wasn't worth the time. And I did donate some stuff. I recently cringed as I was informed that one of the things I donated was going for like $100 on eBay now. It was a PS2 game, one of the Dragon Ball Z games. Wasn't the first EVA rebuild a recap of the show? Partially, yes. Not the entire show. So, but at the same time, yeah, it is kind of recap things. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and this was maybe my third time watching the first movie, and I don't think I've ever seen the second one. But the third time watching the first movie, and I was really impressed, not with the story. It was hard to pay attention to it because I had just seen it so many times, like I didn't even care. I saw it with the anime, and then I saw this was my third time watching the movie, so I wasn't really caring about that. But with the cinematography there, the way that they did the different camera angles, the way that it was animated, it was just beautiful for me, and I really took so many like B-roll footage out of that first movie there to put into my review that I make, and I really appreciate it. Imagine when we are old and trying to compare our gaming days to our grandkids. Should be an interesting experience. Well, yeah, I guess if you have grandkids. Well, that's the thing. It's really interesting because on some level, we would think that they would be interested in the things that we did because there's a similarity there. But at the same time, it's also possible that they would just treat us the way that, we would see our grandparents or something like that. It's just being so out of touch that they can't talk to us about these things. Not just a bunch of things I really didn't enjoy. I would post most of them for $20, $60 plus $10 shipping. Nice. Here we have a thing called Media Mail, and it goes for like $3 or something a piece. But, yeah. The cinematography and the rebuilds are great. Yeah, I'm loving that. The anime community is so short, I can't sell anything at cost or higher to people who truly understand a series value. I don't understand what you mean by that. Where I live, anyways. World in Harem coming out next season. It's going to be next Twitter triggering. Honestly, the big secret to me enjoying anime is just not giving a shit what people do on the internet. I'll tell you this, because back when I used to do a lot of those discussion videos and things like that, people would always link me videos that other YouTubers make, and I never asked for these things. Or sometimes it would pop up in my sub box and I'd watch a video, and it would just... I didn't really like what I was seeing that people were talking about, so I made videos that were like kind of counteracting them or, counterpoints or whatever. And it really wasn't a happy place, to be honest with you. The happiest I am with watching anime is where I just mind my own business, just listen to my own viewers, and then watch anime and not really care what's going on the internet. Because people are always complaining about something. People love to hate stuff. And I have a tendency to do that as well, and I don't like that. So I just like to stick to the things that make me happy. What's Bob and Bob chat? Hey, welcome to the stream. Maybe you can make it so that you don't need to have your stickers permanently attached to your jackets. Well, I mean, there are options. Like, I could glue Velcro things onto it or something like that. But the jacket it's like a stretch jacket. So if it's not sewed on, then it'll just tear off eventually. So I have very light stitching on them anyways. Like this one right here is very light stitching. I can stick my finger in between. But I plan on moving this one anyways, because I really don't like this one. I only put it on there because I have it. I could make a better one. I just don't like how it's centered. I don't like the style of it. This is the Piccolo kanji one. Have I seen Record of Ragnarok? I've seen it a while back. I want to rewatch it because the art style, I like that. Have you seen Dragon's Heaven? It sounds familiar to me. I might have seen it. Big facts. I almost wanted to quit, Bob, when I watched the video that I was talking about this week on my channel, so I decided just to focus on me like I always been. The thing is, I watched that live stream, you know I did because I commented on it, but the way I feel about it, and this is logic that goes all the way back to the beginning of the community where it was just nothing but drama. Well, it wasn't nothing but drama all the time, but sometimes it was. When you mention people on your channel like that, it's basically just free advertising, because I had no idea who those people are, and now I know, and you basically advertise them to me for free. That's the way I see it, so it's better just keep your head down and just mind your own business, because when people come at you like that, it honestly says more about them than it does about you, to be fair. And if you respond to it, that doesn't necessarily put you in a great light as well, sometimes. It just really depends on how you respond to it. Also read new Gantz series, Gantz E. I didn't know there was a new Gantz series. Wow, I'm actually surprised there's so many people in chat here. Let me see if I can find some of these comments I missed out on. I still prefer to have some form of physical media. Streaming is easy, but it could easily disappear and, yeah, no longer be available. Yeah, that is a good point. The thing about streaming is that you're going to have licensing issues, and those licenses are going to expire after some time, and then it's going to be hard to find these shows. There are other options, but we're not going to get into that. Is there an anime you can watch several times and never get bored? I rewatch a ton of anime. If you look at my anime list, I rewatch many anime numerous times. The first series of Dragon Ball, the first few seasons of Dragon Ball, first few seasons of Case Closed, Golden Boy, I've seen that countless times. The thing is, I rewatch shows. The only show that I think I got really tired of rewatching was Samurai X Trust and Betrayal, only because that was the only anime I had in the beginning. I just had that VHS of the first half of the movie, or the OVA. But I could probably still watch that again, too, now that I think about it. You know, whenever I watch a show, I just instantly decide whether or not, you know, when I finish it, whether or not it's going to be a rewatchable show. Because the thing about me is that I love to rewatch things, and I'll rewatch it when I'm eating, or when I'm just trying to sleep, or when I don't feel good, I got a bad headache, or I'm just feeling sick or something like that. I'll put it on, and I'll just close my eyes, and I'll listen to it, and I'll kind of recreate the images in my mind, and that will allow me to distract myself from whatever I'm feeling, like the headache or just feeling sick or something like that. So I really like rewatching for certain things. Oh, also the first few seasons of One Piece too. I would love to get back into collecting it again and be avid in collecting, but I just don't see it as a viable investment right now, because it just seems like, I mean, I really kick myself in the butt every time I see that what not Neon Genesis, but Space Runaway Ideon goes for, because I really should have bought that, but the rewatch value is pretty low for me, but it's going for a lot right now. Yeah, so what I was thinking of doing, Golden Boy, Pet Shop of Horrors, yeah, I've rewatched Pet Shop of Horrors several times as well. I think people thought I was mad, but honestly, I was just content. Yeah, but when you, the way that you use language in the video, it portrays, like, I'm not going to get into it, but it just felt like you were upset by it. And if you were, I don't blame you for that, because I've been upset about a lot of things on YouTube too, and that's just how it is. I've had people make videos, 20-minute videos explaining the top 10 reasons why I should kill myself and all this other. Okay, now we're demonetized probably, but you know, it's like every day you wake up and some people are telling you things. And but to be fair, I feel like when you get negativity like that, it only shows that you're doing something right, because it's easy. Like, take a look at my channel right now. It's mostly positivity for the most part. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to start talking bad about me or anything, but right now it's like I'm only reaching the people who are interested in the videos. But when you're doing things and you're getting people that are hating on you, it's kind of like your influence is reaching out beyond the realm of people who are interested in the stuff that you're making, which means you're going to find new people to be interested in your stuff. So I just, whenever I get a string of hate comments, I just feel good about that sometimes, because I'm just like, okay, somebody must have shared my video on Reddit because for whatever reason they hate me there. I don't know. Well, to be fair, I probably did give them good reason the way I used to make videos in the past, but that's just how it is. Hey, I'm Lazy Sloth, dude. Say my name. I too had an anime channel which also got terminated just today. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Lazy Sloth. But it didn't give up. Grow anime community into mill. Yep, from India. Wow. Keep going, man. Maybe not so much with the clips and stuff. Be very careful with that. I'm very careful. Like, it takes me so long to just clip those clips the right way to get over copyright stuff. Shorter is better with these clips. Let me check some more of these comments. Tenshi Muyo. I've never seen Tenshi Muyo, and you're saying that it's a very rewatchable anime for you. So I should check that out at some point. I know Drax also likes Tenshi Muyo. I think the Trusted Material OVA is the nicest looking anime series I've seen. It's like a giant art museum. Yeah, it really does look beautiful, and I wish more anime looked that way. But at the same time, it's after reading the Kenshin manga and the anime, it's really contrasting. It's interesting how they went in that direction for that very specific part. But the thing is, I should do a video about this because I'm actually planning on doing a review of X 1999, the movie, coming up this week. I don't think the story's amazing or anything, but there were many anime in the 90s that got really gritty movies. Escaflowne had a gritty movie with a really dark art style to it. X 1999 did. The anime to that was kind of dark to begin with. And then there's also Samurai X Trusted Material. I need to find some more of these where the anime was like not so dark and then the movie just cranked it up to 11. If you guys know of any more like super dark 90s movies that came from a series that wasn't so dark like that, let me know. Yeah, the thing about Tenshi Muyo is a large investment, especially the way I am right now. I have no idea how I'm gonna ever get into longer shows because I want to watch some like older mech anime and some older shows that are like 40 episodes, 50 episodes, but I'm not sure how I'll do that because just so much time. Shadow Skill had one too. Yeah, Shadow Skill had one, but Shadow Skill, the anime series, was already like pretty dark and gritty to begin with in terms of the second half. But I don't really care so much for the Shadow Skill movie though. The art style is kind of weird, and especially when Shadow Skill, the anime, already had my favorite character design. X 1999 movie animation, so good. Yes, that's why I want to do it. I just want to show off the animation. Plus, on top of that, I also want to get back. I'm considering starting another channel, and whenever the new season starts up, just doing episode discussion videos there. And I feel like that's really what I need to do, because what I would like to do is already have my notes and already have my clips and everything in my script like 90% ready whenever the final episode drops, and then just have one solid week where I just drop review after series review after series review. And right now, the way things are going, it's just not working. I'm shooting myself in the foot by taking so long to get those series reviews out because SSSS, Gridman, Odd Taxi, everybody knew about those anime when they came out. And I want to be the one that identifies these shows because I feel like I've got a different taste in things. And I don't want, it's just like there's some bigger people in the community that they're just like, they put shows on the map. And I feel like I could get there first because I probably have a different way of seeing it. Yeah, but the problem is with scheduling. Right now on YouTube, I work, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I pretty much work from maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock up until midnight. And I really feel good about that, though. Like, it sounds crazy, but I do that every single day of the week. And it feels crazy, but yesterday, I woke up at 7 or 8 o'clock, a little bit late, and I started working, and I finished, because I finished the anime series I was watching, which was Fantastic Children. I did the review of that, I edited that, uploaded that, and then started working on my Neon Genesis Evangelion series, and then I went to sleep at around 12:30, and I woke up at around 3 o'clock. I had to go to the bathroom. I lay back down, and I just felt like so restless and bored. I just felt like I wanted to get up and work some more. So, like, I'm working, like 16 hours a day, every day, and I still wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I'd rather just be working than sleeping. So, I feel pretty good about this. And I think if I can manage to get ahead of the schedule in terms of video making, like I need to find some good shorts to do and line them all up, and just my schedule is like the main thing that I need to work on. And if I can do that, I can easily find a way to put in like episode discussion videos on another channel. I don't think it's a good idea for me to do it on my main channel because I feel like it'll dilute things a little bit too much. Though, you know, I was thinking about doing another channel because I feel like there's a lot for me to learn in terms of titling and thumbnailing and stuff. And if I have another channel, then I have no holds bars in terms of clickbait. I could really just cheese it up and just blatantly do videos for the money. Because there's always this special feeling that I have about my channel that I just can't do things like that. And even when I made thumbnails for other YouTubers, I made thumbnails for YouTubers that got millions of views, and just because I was really good with the clickbait, but I just can't bring that same mentality to my own channel. There's just something about it. I care too much about it. I didn't know about Odd Taxi until you review. You didn't know. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear about that. I love being that first person to put things on the map for people. Be careful. That usually can result in burnout. Yeah, it can. I have like major, well, not really major, but to some degree ADHD, and I just can, it's sometimes hard to focus on things, but at the same time there's also times where you can just hyper focus on it, and that's really the only thing you do. And I'm trying to get into that moment, but well, actually that's what I'm doing right now, probably, where that's only what I'm doing. And the thing is, I will, every few hours I will take a break and I'll get up and I'll go play VR. And that's been a really great thing for me, because previously my breaks would be like a video game, and a video game is just sitting down. But with VR, that's just been amazing. Playing games like Stride, where you're just running across the rooftops like what is that parkour game that Mirror's Edge? It's like that, and it's so much fun because you're getting activity, you're getting the blood moving, and you're burning calories. Having to, you know, I'm sweating like dripping wet after I played that game, and it's just nice to have that in the middle of the day. Human Crossing dub is good. Yeah, I want to do a Human Crossing review of that, by the way, because we had Anime back when. He got me onto that. Plus, it's also from the same director as that murder mystery sort of OVA that I forgot the name to already. 101 Nights, 1999 artist from... Oh yeah, I know about that. I have that, but I also want to read the manga to it as well. Maybe it's not worth it, but I kind of wanted to do a 2-in-1. VR workout, great workout, I see. Yeah, it can be a very good workout, VR. It just depends on the game that you're playing and your motivation. I've also got a boxing game that's pretty good too. But some of the games that I was playing and working up a sweat, after a while, it's like your brain finds ways to make things easier on you, and I got so good at it that I just wasn't breaking up a sweat. But the great thing about the game Stride is that there's a randomizer. You can do this endless run through, and it's just like, they're all different little paths that you can go through each time you play. But there was a time on Stride when I was in like top 10 world ranking on one of the speedrun things. I need to get up on some of these comments. Want to hear a cool story, Bob? A couple days ago I was talking to this girl in an anime store. You guys got anime stores over there? That's nice. And she was the person that was working at the store. And after talking, she gave me candy. Oh, that's really nice. But I gotta tell you, women that work in places like that get probably hit on constantly. So I just, you know, I would just assume that they don't want to hear it. Just talk to them like a person. And, well, I'm not trying to imply that you were doing something other than that, but it's natural to feel that way sometimes, I think. But that's how it is. And anime stores, that's pretty cool. We don't have any anime stores around here. Yeah. Shinsekai Yori from the New World. I actually have a review on that, and Squealer, the character, is one of my favorite antagonists, I don't want to say antagonist, well, it's too late because it's already out there, but I love Squealer. That's really my main reason for watching the show, to be honest with you. That was my favorite thing. Angel Densetsu. What is the English name of that? That sounds familiar. Angel Cop? Maybe I'm thinking about something else. I know that's hilarious. Bob, watching you evolve over the years has been pretty cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of just like this in person too, because everyone's always telling me, like, every couple years, or every year or so, it's almost like you're a different person or something, because I do so much like introspecting about things, and I'm always trying to optimize my life for the best way for me, like at the moment, and that rarely ever includes plans with people, and that causes problems in itself, but that's kind of how I've always been. But it's great because a lot of people, they really just run their lives around the people in their life, and I never do that. Squealer, also my favorite antagonist. I have to see Twilight of the Dark Master over you. Yeah, that's got some nice animation of that from what I remember. I got that on DVD. Pretty much everyone uses clickbait these days, so I should try it. I don't want to try it because, well, if I start up a new channel and do the episode videos, I'll clickbait the hell out of that. But the thing is, those clickbait videos, it's kind of like, say, for example, Super Derek RPG. He does, or Pelvic Gaming, they do reviews of games, and the format that they have is very similar to the format that I have in terms of they create an entire package for one thing. They stick it out there, and that video is intended to be useful and helpful for people for years to come. Clickbait videos they get a lot of views, but they're kind of like flashes in the pan, in my opinion. Of course, that's not always true, but a lot of times they title it a certain way and they put a thumbnail there that when somebody searches for it 2 years in the future, they can't find it. And while it's important for me to get views, and while it's important for me to have popularity to get my message out about anime, I want my videos to be helpful for people in the future. So whenever somebody Googles something like about the anime, they'll pop up review, spoiler-free review, and they'll see this, and maybe a little subtext to it, oh, my favorite anime or something like that. And then they'll feel like, okay, this is a safe, good, nice video for me to watch. That's not some risky clickbait video that is probably going to contain spoilers. And that's just the logic behind that, in my opinion, because most people that do the clickbait stuff, they stop at nothing to get the views. They will put people's death in the thumbnail, like a major character's death or something like that, or something that's a spoiler. And I don't want to do that. I always think, or at least my my current motto as of coming back in December is just always thinking about the viewer. Like, I don't really care about expressing myself that much in the videos. That's why I don't do that many discussion videos. I feel like a lot of much of the direction of my YouTube channel in the past was kind of predicated on some form of ego, but just right now, like, I'm only thinking about the viewers, and I feel like if I do the clickbait, then I'm thinking about myself, and that's not helpful for people in the future. I probably talked way too long about that, but that's just how I feel about that. But yeah, with the retention that I'm getting on my videos, it's like it's between 40 and 60%. And if I do clickbait, then it's going to go down to like 3% or 5% or something like that. So I want people who know what they're going to get when they click on a video. Angsty young adult, long hair Bob evolved into professional adult Bob. Yeah, there's a whole process there. And the suit thing, if I could redo that, I'd probably do that differently too. Because I wasn't aware of the presentation that had. I thought it was really nice because I like looking at suits, but some people thought I was some snooty uptight dude or something like that. But yeah, I just like complete total packages. Have I watched Odd Taxi? I reviewed Odd Taxi a couple weeks ago. I recommend watching it because not too many people have seen it. Which really, it kind of sucks, but I'm trying to not pay attention to it because my videos, I feel like I'm just... Let me know. Am I uploading too much for you guys to watch all the videos? I'm not going to stop. I just want to know. Because the videos are shorter, but there's more of them, and there's more like different anime. So I just want to know, am I uploading too much? Because the views went from like 1,000 or 2,000 a video that was once a week down to like 300. But, I'm just trying not to focus on it because, honestly, one of my biggest inspirations for doing this style of video is SNES Drunk. Because I don't even play Super Nintendo games. I don't really care about Super Nintendo games, to be honest with you. The only Super Nintendo game I ever played to completion was Chrono Trigger. And I love that. I did that on stream. But every time he uploads a video, I always watch it. And I don't even know what the games are, but it's just like, it's short. and he does a good job of putting it out there. And I just want to be like, I want to portray anime in a similar light to that, where it's just a very quick little video. If it's for a movie or OVA series, or just every video is as long as it needs to be, in my opinion. Clickbait is a stigmatized term. Just make catchy thumbnails. Well, that's the thing. At the end of the day, like, I appreciate it, but at the end of the day, it's like nobody really sees the channel from the perspective that I see it from, except for me. Everybody, for the most part, okay, you've got two different people that are types of people that are giving me advice on the channel. One is a person who doesn't run a YouTube channel, who's giving me advice based on other people's channels, which, you know, is nice, but they're making different content. I think we can all agree on that. And then this one really irritates me when other YouTubers just constantly give me unrequested advice, and it's just like, we don't make the same type of videos. If we make the same type of videos, then we can talk about that. But if we talk about anime, then that doesn't mean that we make the same type of videos. That's kind of like PewDiePie giving advice to somebody like Super Derek or something like that. You know, they talk about video games, but they don't make the same content. Chrono Trigger is an amazing game. I was blown away by that because I thought it would be garbage, to be honest with you. I thought, like, Super Nintendo, because I never had a Super Nintendo, keep that in mind. I thought Final Fantasy VII was when RPGs got good. So I was surprised with Chrono Trigger. I was blown away. Upload less and more views. Possibly. That's probably what I need to do, but I'm not going to do that. Because I want to get there. Because my goal is, like, long-term with this. Because if I do as many videos as I can, because I think the videos are, like, meaningful, even though they're shorter. I'm just, like, covering content that is shorter, like movies and OVAs, and still doing the series reviews. But if I do them and have enough of them, a year down the road, they'll get views on them. That's just how it is. It's like, the more anime I can talk about, the more likely that, you know, those videos will just pick up over time and snowball. No, I appreciate the advice, but I guess it's a pride thing. Maybe it's a pride thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think maybe it's a pride thing, but I just can't bring myself to do that in the videos. Like, sometimes I'll do that with a thumbnail, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm defiling it. Earthbound, yeah. I think Super Derek reviewed that recently, and that sounded interesting. What's my favorite kind of anime? I don't really have a favorite kind of anime anymore. I've happily gotten to the point where I have I'll kind of watch anything. The only things that I'm not really interested in right now is like schoolgirl stuff. I've never been interested in that. But maybe one of these days I'll learn to appreciate that. I don't look forward to that, but at the same time, my knowledge of anime over the years, my appreciation for anime over the years has expanded greatly. And, you know, the thing about the clickbait stuff, it's my fault anyways, because I should just learn to ignore it and not really think anything about it. But part of me does take it personally sometimes, because I think about all the other YouTubers that get a lot of views and stuff, and I try not to think about that and just do my own thing. You promised to play Chrono Cross on stream, Bob. Yeah, I know I need to do that, but my priorities change like the wind sometimes, and I didn't want to stream games that much. It was stressful, to be honest with you. It's stressful to read on camera, to be honest. It's embarrassing, but it's true. What's my favorite non-anime show? Star Trek The Next Generation right now. Yeah. Every night before I go to sleep, I pop on Star Trek The Next Generation, put my TV timer on for an hour, and just relax to that. And I just fall asleep, and it just cuts off on its own. I've rewatched Star Trek The Next Generation a couple times a year, to be honest. I've seen it probably in completion maybe 4 times in the past couple years. Well, not every single episode. Some episodes are pretty bad. A video a day is okay for me. At least a few videos a week. The thing, my logic is, most people don't like, most people don't like a wide range of anime like I do, for the most part. Most people have their niches. So I feel like if I'm uploading a wide variety of things, then people are going to find things to gravitate to. I was putting the genres in the title so that somebody could go to my channel and search by genre, but I feel I quit doing that. I watch all the short videos. I appreciate that. I really do. Hey, Gabe, welcome to the stream. If you love Star Trek The Next Generation, then you'll love Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Dude, Deep Space Nine is really nice, but it's not rewatchable as this, the same way that I see Star Trek The Next Generation, because Star Trek TNG, instead of repeating it, has a very light-hearted atmosphere, but it's also got some very touching moments to it. Deep Space Nine had some beautiful, deep character development arcs with Nog. Nog, right? He's the young Ferengi. There's also Odo. I just love characters that go through a struggle of trying to fit in with humanity. I've always loved that, ever since I was younger. Then, of course, there's the Captain, Sisko. He goes through a development arc as well. I really don't like that one woman, the woman there. I don't like her. I wish they would have used, because they were planning on using the one girl from The Next Generation on that show, and I think that would have, Ro Laren, I think that would have been much better. But, yeah. Your new style of releasing content makes me watch more anime. It makes my watch list much bigger. I appreciate it. I'm glad to make an impact with that. Yeah, I also like Voyager. Voyager for the content, the Borg content. But I also, the Tuvix episode is one of my favorite ones, because it feels like a Mass Effect renegade dialogue option, to be honest with you. Because I really hated Tuvok, and I really hated, what's the other guy's name? They get merged together. But Tuvix was awesome. I hated both of those characters, but when they merged together, I thought it was great. Odo and Nog were my two favorite characters. Yes, I love those characters so much. You don't see a certain guy in chat. Is he still stalking me? He sends me a friend request or follows me on various different things from now and again. And I really appreciate that I don't have to deal with him. I feel bad, but I'm just not equipped to deal with people that have certain mental issues. I feel bad, but I just can't. Just because I'm a YouTuber doesn't mean I'm equipped to be like social worker level, patients. Star Trek Discovery, I just look at it and I don't feel good about it, so I didn't watch it. I don't like the uniforms. To be honest with you, I love the Deep Space Nine. I think the Deep Space Nine and the Voyager uniforms are the same, and also the second, or actually they had the third season Star Trek Next Generation uniforms. I love them. I'd actually like to have one of them for myself, but it's kind of expensive. But the thing about the sewing machine, the embroidery machine I bought, I could probably just make my own at some point. And I plan on making a little Star Trek patch put on here too. Only Star Trek content I've seen was for the reboot movie, and I enjoyed them. Yeah, they were pretty nice. I'd love to see a reboot for the Next Generation, though, because I would love to see, first of all, the women had terrible development on Star Trek, because pretty much every episode for them was just about dating some dude, and they never had true development arcs. The only real development arcs, I think, or real content that we have for the women was the episode where it was like it's in the middle of season 1, where Crusher and Picard got trapped underground, in the episode where LaForge, who's also one of my favorite characters, got to command the Enterprise. That episode, because she showed how valuable she is and how strong she is under pressure. And then there's also the episode where Diana Troy lost her psychic abilities and she had to cope with that, and I thought that was great. But all the other episodes are just about dating people, and I thought that really sucked. Content creators are considered shrinks nowadays, and I get the same type of people in DM on my Instagram page. I was on Twitch this morning just out of curiosity, because I wanted to find some people that were playing Stride. And one of the things that popped up right there was like this, because it was a popular YouTube Twitch thing or whatever. I clicked that out of curiosity because it was 800 people watching this dude sleep. And I just don't fathom it. I really don't. Maybe it's because I'm old, but I just have no idea what people want. 800 people watch this dude live sleeping, but it's just like I put 16 hours of work into a video and just like maybe 200 people or something like that. I'm not jealous, but at the same time, it boggles my mind. And I went over to the guy's YouTube channel, and he had a bunch of clips from his Twitch stream, and I clicked on one of them, and the guy was listening to some 10-year-old say, "Oh, you're changing my life, you're a great influence," or whatever, and he was like, "All right, thanks." He hung up, he died in Fortnite, and he was screaming obscenities, and I'm just like, what world am I in? I don't get it. This is why I don't bother with clickbait or things like that, because that's appealing to like a group that I honestly don't understand, and I don't get it. I really don't. And I don't want to chase that. I'd rather just be real with this stuff, to be honest. The Orville is basically a TNG sequel reboot. I'd like to hear more about that, honestly. The Orville. That sounds familiar. Is that the show from one of the same creators? If you like Star Trek, did I watch the anime Legend of Galactic Heroes? You don't know that I've seen Legend of Galactic Heroes? We've come full circle, because I consider myself to be one of the first people that put that on the map in terms of like YouTube. I reviewed that a long time ago. I talked about that, I don't think too many people talked about that back then. And that was way before it got licensed, way before everything. I talked about that years ago. That's kind of arrogant of me to say, but it's kind of true. There are certain anime in the past I've out on it. Okay, the stream died for a second. Hope we're all right. Yeah, Twitch is a very strange place. Putting 3 hours into a video and getting less views than a joke made in 10 minutes. Yeah, it is what it is, but it's all, I don't really expect much to be honest, because it's all a process of, in 2 years, if I'm still doing this, which I don't know, if I'm still getting the same result, then I'd feel bad about that. For right now, I'm just looking into the future. Welcome to Idiocracy, Bob. It does feel like that. Did I watch the remake of Legend of Galactic Heroes, Bob? I did not. I did a few videos of the first series, the first few episodes of it, and I didn't. Because I waited for it to finish, and then just get it all through at once. Because that's how I'd rather watch it. Why are a lot of writers and Why are a lot of writers... What is a writer and sexist? Because I see a lot of female characters. Writers. Oh, writers. Okay, sorry. With a W, not a R. Sexist, because I see a lot of female characters, they don't have a lot of development, that are kind of shallow. By Sakura, for example. Well, that just comes down to the business mentality of writing. Because they, like, say, for example, if I were to look at my YouTube analytics, it would show that the majority of people that watch me are between 17 and 24 years old and male. So if I were to target mainly that audience, then that would be me, like, kind of pandering to my own audience in a way. But for them, the things that sells for, like, TV shows and things like that is basically pandering to the male audience that is kind of sex appeal and things like that, I guess you could say. I don't want to say that they're always assuming that the people that are watching them are lonely, but that's what they're doing. Hey Bob, I just watched Neon Genesis Evangelion and End of Evangelion. Could you talk about the ending a little bit? Not really, because people take it a little too seriously, and I don't really remember it that well, to be honest with you. I reviewed that ages ago, and I feel bad to say this, but the fandom's kind of wore me out on it. Though, I will say that I am currently working on a Evangelion rebuild review, where I just review everything. All of the rebuild movies. I checked out mini manga because of your list made years ago. Thank you for your hard work. I need to do another one of those videos because I've read some manga since then. What are my thoughts on anime like Demon Slayer getting huge mainstream attention? I personally find the story generic. I mean, it's a little generic, but it doesn't bother me at all. At least it's not set in school, I couldn't really get into My Hero Academia for that reason, but I don't necessarily think it's bad. And to be honest with you, if it weren't shows like for Dragon Ball Z, for example, or other shows that were very bland for its time, then I don't think many of us would get into anime. And I think that's a great gateway for newer people to get into anime. So I think it's nice. Personally, I enjoy Demon Slayer, so I'm not really bothered by that. Because, the thing is about anime, I think it's, in order to have longevity as an anime fan, if you're going to really watch anime in, like, mass like we do, you just gotta be able to appreciate a lot of the different experiences that anime is providing. And if we're gonna rate shows like Sword Art Online or, Demon Slayer, things like that, as being low-ranking scores, like 6, 5, stuff like that, then I think if we're criticizing it on its story for the most part, I feel like we're missing the point, because it's not meant to be other shows. It's meant to be what it is. I don't really watch live streams, but just stopping by to say love you, Bob, and keep up the hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that, Joe. I decided to do a live stream today because I didn't want to rush a video out, because I'm working on a pretty big video right now. Hot take, I don't like End of Evangelion. I don't really remember too much about it, to be honest. Have I seen Parasite Dolls? I was actually planning on watching that today. I do want to watch that. I just felt like one downside of doing the videos so frequently that I have now, sometimes I'll get into like a panic mode. What do I do today? What do I do today? Because for the first few weeks, I had videos out in advance, and I just need to get back to having videos out in advance. What is the best DDR game? I know you have an answer. My favorite DDR game is DDR Max 2. Though sometimes I play DDR Extreme, I think 1. They both have really good songs, but DDR Max 2 is what I always revisit. Any decent horror anime do you recommend? I don't know, man. Anime's not that great when it comes to horror. It depends on what you want out of horror. Like, if you're looking for gruesome stuff, then Legend of the Overfiend, something like that. But if you're looking to be scared, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe Shiki, people really like When They Cry. I don't really like it. Have I watched Aoi Bungaku? If not, an anime based on No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I have it on my list, but the thing is, No Longer Human is only a part of that. It's like a multi-episode series, or it's like a mini stories combined together, and No Longer Human is part of that. I've read the novel, and I've also read the manga to that, and I just haven't gotten around to that yet. I do plan on it, though. Higarashi is good horror. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I just, aesthetically, it's not what I like. And it's a very shallow thing. I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit that. But I'm not saying the anime's bad because I don't like its aesthetics. I'm just saying I couldn't get into it. What are my thoughts on the upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix? I don't really know. I don't keep up with that stuff. I just watch the things I watch. And this is a big struggle for me because I want to keep up with new anime that are coming out, but I just can't find... Like, that's always a struggle for me. I used to do the Otaku Tuesday stuff, and maybe I just don't feel like looking things up because I remember how much of a pain in the butt that was. Pet Shop of Horrors. Yeah, Pet Shop of Horrors is good. Shiki is good. I wouldn't necessarily consider them scary, but they are definitely anime that are horrors that I would consider to be good. No Longer Human is my second favorite novel of all time, but I haven't bothered seeing any of the adaptations. You should check out the manga to it. There's several adaptations of the manga, which I've only read one of them, so I don't remember which one is the one I read. The news for the new Dragon Ball Super movie, Superhero, no, but in my Patreon chat last week, we talked about that, and I'm not really that interested in that. I haven't bothered watching Super. I've seen a few episodes, and I trashed it back in the day when I trashed things to, get a few views and stuff, but to be honest with you, it's just not something I'm interested in, and I hope the viewers of that show and the fans really enjoy it, because, it's just not my thing, but I hope they enjoy it. Watch Genocyber. I have a review of that also. Yeah, but I do need to redo it, because I'm not happy with the Genocyber review, because I was trashing it without understanding what it was, but I did see it. My sub count has the funny number. What? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm losing a lot of subs by doing all these videos, but if that's what you're talking about, it's like, it's really bad. I'm losing a lot, but I'm thinking long term. What do I think about Bleach coming back with a new manga special? I can't really say anything about the manga special because I'm not caught up to the manga, but I'm happy about Bleach coming back because I do like Bleach. I got a Bleach wall scroll right behind my monitors here, and I'm happy for it. I can't wait to watch it. Hot take. I didn't think Gangsta was as bad as I made it out to be. It wasn't good either. It's like a 6 out of 10. Okay, you're probably right about that. Yeah, I can see that. the thing is, I went through the time that I reviewed that, I was trying to be the most professional and like analytical sort of person in anime, and I had this reviewing criteria that only worked for shows like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and I really feel bad about not being fair to the anime. I was fair to viewers basically because they were always wanting, like, viewers who wanted that same type of video from me, but I wasn't fair to the anime, and that should have been like my number one thing. And nearly 70k subs, yeah. I've hit 70k before. I was at 70k. I think I hit 70k when I uploaded the Shiki review around then. If you want to look up how long ago that was, and then I changed my content. I just burnt out, and I lost a lot of subs because I did different content. And I was trying my best to keep my YouTube active because I love interacting with my viewers, but I just couldn't do the same type of content. But honestly, you know, I've talked about that a lot, but I don't think I'll get back into that situation again unless I don't have a choice. I'm not leaving this channel. It has been a good place to learn about interesting anime and gems. I just want to say I really do appreciate you all so much. You have no idea. Okay, so 69. Okay, yeah, that's funny, the subscriber count that I'm at. But in terms of the way that I feel about my community, if you guys don't know this, I started off with, back in 2009, when I started making anime reviews, maybe 2010. Even before I started doing YouTube, 2007, I had only seen maybe 10, 15, 20 anime in that range. And my YouTube videos were kung fu movies, samurai movies, video games and stuff like that. And it was the viewers that got me into anime, like, as a big thing. So I'm nearly at 1,000 anime right now as a result of me learning things from my viewers, and also due to my own due diligence of looking through these databases and things like that. So I don't really care about networking with other YouTubers and things like that. The only audience that I really care about is, you know, my viewers. And it really makes it hard to grow, but that's just where my interest lies. Like, I'd rather just hang out in a chat or something and talk to you guys, because that's the core of my channel right there. No, it's cool. You know, I've had a lot of people over the years tell me, hey, you're getting closer to 70k, and I'm looking at my sub number, it's just dropping. I don't know. I was almost not going to do this live stream today, because every time, I guarantee you, I lost like probably 15 subs just by doing this. I feel kind of self-conscious, because it's like every time I open my mouth and say something that's like out of line from like an anime review, I lose followers. I don't know what it is. Like, every time I tweet something, it's like I'm bleeding followers and stuff. So I just like shut my mouth and review anime, and it seems to work out all right. Don't forget to like the stream. Well, I appreciate everyone who's liked the stream. It's said that the biggest masterpieces have always been bad reviews. For example, Perfect Blue, Serial Experiments Lane. Masterpiece always had bad reviews. You talking about my reviews? My reviews are bad, or people in general review them poorly? Either way, I reviewed Fantastic Children yesterday. Oh my god, that anime. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and on Mal it's like 7. It is beyond words, to be honest with you. I really couldn't even I can't even express. It's one of these shows, I can't even talk about the story, to be honest, because I'm 10 episodes, or I was 10 episodes into the anime. I had no idea what the story was, and I can't discuss spoilers, so it's like, what the hell do I talk about? The first video I ever watched from you was your Rosario Vampire review, the Nostalgia. I don't even know if that video's still up anymore. I still got the manga to it. That was a fun little anime. No, I'm talking about people in general. Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like that's like part of the reason why I decided to come back, you know, and do the reviews, because I identified that there was a problem with the way that people scored anime and reviewed anime and stuff like that, because they were a little bit too negative, in my opinion. Of course, you know, there's people who are too positive too. So I felt like it's really my duty in a way, because it's like one of the few things that I feel like I'm actually good at doing. Have I seen Megalo Box? I've seen a few episodes of it, and I just got sidetracked. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, people in general. Yeah, I understand, because it's like that one with a Tree of Palm. You know, maybe my 9 out of 10 is a little bit too high for Tree of Palm, but it definitely doesn't deserve a 6.5. You seem to have gotten more views when it did self-help stuff. Well, I did. That's because my audience was at the point where it didn't dwindle down to the point that it's at now. And I just feel I privated a lot of that stuff because I'm not doing that videos anymore. And also I feel like it's somewhat hypocritical because I've just decided to devote every ounce of my life energy at this point to reviewing anime on YouTube and just see where that takes me. So I don't think that a lot of that stuff is really valid because I feel like, I mean, it's valid, but for me personally to be saying it and people be listening to me in the videos for saying that stuff, I feel almost hypocritical because I was on a different life path in that point, if that makes any sense. It made me find good anime, but that people rarely know. I appreciate that. Where would I like to see the anime community on YouTube go? I don't know, because I'm not really involved. I feel bad sometimes because I could make friends with a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that, and I probably angered a lot of or a lot of people think I don't like them or something because I don't interact with them. But I really feel best about anime when I keep to myself. It's almost like this. It's like this a lot, to be honest with you. It's not just. It's a problem with me, I think, because in general, I like to be an optimist and believe in the best in people. But the more I interact with people, like in person, one-on-one, I find it harder to do, to be honest. Or the more I watch the news and stuff like that. So it's a struggle, but I don't know. Though I have been working on following more people on Twitter, though, I'll say that. Because I was only following like 9 people for numerous years. Most people score things based on if they liked it or not. There are several shows I can recognize as being good. Well, that's the truth. You can recognize a show for being good regardless of whether or not you like it. But at the same time, I did a video on this the other day, but I just didn't upload it because I felt like, who would care? But I didn't, the thing about that is, nobody's gonna give an anime a 10 if they didn't like it. Or maybe a 9 if they didn't like it. I don't think. It's all gonna be like 6, 7, 8. So everybody, for the most part, is rating anime based off of emotions, for the most part. Like, I had this complicated, convoluted mathematical equation back in the day, but most people just do it emotionally. And that's honestly the way I do scores now. It's heavily emotional. So the thing is, of course, not only am I able to identify when a show is good, if I don't like it, but I'm also able to appreciate a lot about anime. So in the video that I didn't upload, I stated that in the very beginning on YouTube, I was reviewing anime and giving scores by my emotions. And that's what I'm doing right now. I got out of trying to do it technically. But the difference between me now and me back then is that even though I come out of an anime the same way, feeling emotional about it, I come into it differently. Because back then, I could only appreciate a limited amount of shows, but now I can appreciate a wider range of shows. And the way I feel about it is, if there's an anime that I can't appreciate, then maybe I shouldn't be watching it. Because, there's a lot of anime on my plan to watch list, and if I'm not appreciating a show, then what am I even doing? Like Yuri on Ice, I probably shouldn't have reviewed that, but I felt like it was such a polarizing show that people were either trashing it for being gay, or they were loving it kind of for the same reason, because there's people that want to see that sort of inclusion in anime, but at the same time there's also the Fujoshi group as well, which is different because it's kind of like the fetish of that. And I just wanted to review the story for what it was, and I felt like I'm one of the few people that could go into it like unbiased like that. But we're not really unbiased, but at the same time, it was stressful doing that because I had to watch it twice to be able to get out all of my emotions on it. Would I ever do a review on Super Sentai or Power Rangers? Probably not. I never say never, but probably not. Did I watch it sub or dub? Did I watch what sub or dub? Am I a full-time YouTuber? I am right now a full-time YouTuber, yes. I don't do it, I don't make full-time money from it, but I pay my bills with other things. But as of, 3 weeks ago at this point, I have been putting 16 hours a day into YouTube. I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, start, by 8 o'clock, and then I finish it at midnight every single day. Of course, I take breaks, shower and eat and cook and stuff like that. But, that's just all day long. I do that stuff when I need to do it, and I don't time it and subtract it. But I am going as hard as I can. I kid you not, every ounce of my life energy right now is going to YouTube, and I feel good about that. It's been 3 weeks. Let me mark down, because I've got a little thing right here. Keeping track of, because I do consider this to be a daily thing, even though it's a live stream. But yeah, I feel like the thing is, you don't want to do something that everybody can do. Like eBay, everybody can do that. Because if everybody can do it, if you're not contributing anything special, then anyone can do it, and anyone will do it, and there's not going to be a lot of profit margin in that. There's not going to be a lot of potential in that. So the thing is, I feel like the way I see anime and the way I make videos is different from the way that other people do it. It's not necessarily different in a way that makes them popular, obviously, but I just feel like I have a different take on it, and my interest in it is enough that I can work 18 hours a day on it and feel good about it. I've played any card games, not really in the card games. Do I have any advice? I am promoting a certain content that you're trying to do. Huh? How do you do that's not very trendy? I'm wanting to do creepy pastas. They're not very good compared to my gaming. I don't know, dude. I'm not really popular to begin with, so I can't help you with that. My advice is to ram your head against the wall until people pay attention to you. Honestly, the thing is, it's very ironic because I got big off of a clickbait video that was a total, false advertisement, basically. I did a video back in the day that was called, What If, it was an idea video, hypothetical, if there was a crossover between Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and all these other shonen anime. My video idea was that Dragon Ball Z has got this universe with all these different planets, and none of them are Earth. But what if some of these different planets were Earth? What if each of these different planets was another shonen anime universe, and they had to come together, they crossed over that way? This was before they ever had those crossover movies, by the way. But the video thumbnail was just me, my face looking all nasty, my hair all nasty. Like, I was not prepared for more than 15 people to watch that video. And then I got 1 million views on that video because I put a clickbait thumbnail on it, and I got downvoted to hell, and that's kind of what started off the channel. And, that's not what I wanted. Hey, Mr. C Tactics, welcome to the stream. You're popular in my heart. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I deserve more subs. I don't know if I agree with that. It would be nice, but I feel like I deserve everything I have, to be honest with you. And the only thing stopping me from getting more is putting in the due diligence, and that's what I'm doing right now. Because I can't say I deserve anything because I went so long without making videos. In fact, I'm lucky to have what I have. Especially in terms of the supporters on Patreon and things like that. I'm lucky to have donors and chat and stuff like that. So, I can't say I deserve more, because that just puts me into a mindset of feeling bad about my efforts. I have Torimba JP app game channel with only 10 subscribers. You sure you hit the like button? Yeah, you can do that if you like the video. And Blame is really good anime film, and Blam is really good anime film to watch. I hate with some anime unanswered questions. Do I like modern anime more or older anime? Honestly, I'm coming to a place now where I really love a lot of the new anime that are coming out. We're getting to a place now where a lot of the problems that I had with older shows, honestly, the problems that I had with the more recent shows in terms of like 5 years ago or something like that, 50% my fault, 50% their fault. They weren't doing the shows that I wanted to watch, and I was being too critical about them. But right now, I can watch a lot of new anime and really enjoy them. And like I said, I'm thinking about maybe starting another channel and just doing episode discussion videos and stuff like that, if I can find time in my schedule. Do I... Just noticed you went back to change the thumbnail for MMO Junkie to match your style now. Is that an anime you like? I love MMO Junkie, but the reason why I redid that was because the thumbnail had a big red YouTube's frowny face in it, because that was taken down my copyright, and I re-uploaded it, but I didn't want to get downvoted, so I let people know that it was a re-upload. So I changed that up. But, I need to go back and do all that again, but I need to get a better picture of myself first, because that was just like a random thing that I did in a video. I just like did like this in a video and just like, fuck it, whatever. I don't take pictures of myself. Like, even the last selfie I took was that it wasn't like somebody asked me, hey, send me a picture, you know. The last selfie I took to post online was years ago. Like maybe 3-4 years ago, probably. You're popular in my heart too. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Especially like sending me money and stuff like that. It means a lot that there's monetary value to it to you guys. What's my take on Cartoon Network and WB making anime? I don't really care. The more people make an anime, the better, because it's more likely that we're gonna get something good, I think. But I don't watch TV. I really don't. I haven't watched TV since or mid-2000s, probably. You know, I've seen TV shows, Dexter and whatnot on Netflix, but I don't watch TV. Do I still watch pro wrestling at all? No, I can't really get in pro wrestling anymore. Sometimes it's like, the thing about me is like I'm interested in so many different things that I have a problem with staying focused. And that's honestly probably one of the bigger issues with me doing YouTube. Sometimes I want to play a game, sometimes I want to do anime stuff, but like it wasn't until now that I realized like anime only. It's got to be my life or it's not going to be nothing. The past year for seasonal anime have been pretty good for me. To Your Eternity, Attack on Titan, now Vinland Saga Season 2, Jojo Part 6 have me really interested. Yeah, you got me wanting to watch Fruits Basket, because I liked the original series too, but I didn't like the ending to it, but I gotta watch that. But it's a longer show. I don't know how to fit that into my timeline. But To Your Eternity, I really, like, I started watching that, and I was blown away by the first few episodes I've seen, but sadly it wasn't completed, so I just put it on hold. So that's a main reason why I want to get into doing episode videos on another channel, so I can keep myself up to date with these things, because I'm so far behind that whenever I put out a series review, like, it's been a month after it finished. Do I watch UFC? No, I don't watch that. I've changed a lot in that regard. Like, I don't really feel good when I watch people hurt each other. And I know it's a sport, and sometimes I'll watch a clip and like, damn, that's impressive. Like somebody running up the wall and jumping off, kick somebody in the face. That's impressive. But I just don't have a good feeling when I watch people fighting each other. Have I ever written your own show or story? I would honestly love to do that. I bought a drawing tablet hoping, before I got like heavy back into YouTube again, hoping to do my own manga. But, you know, one of these days, that's a dream of mine, because I've seen so many stories in my life that I would love to create something to just contribute instead of just consuming all the time. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, in terms of that, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I don't want to watch it anymore. Well, right now, I don't want to watch it. The thing about me is that I'm a gambler when it comes to anime. I like to watch stuff that I don't know if it's going to be good or not. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I know it's going to be good, so I don't feel as inclined to watch it. That sounds super crazy to you, I'm sure, but that's just how I am. That's why I don't watch Makoto Shinkai movies or Ghibli movies, aside from the fact that they go crazy on copyright stuff. Do I read Kingdom? No, I did not read Kingdom because it's not finished yet. If it finishes, then I'll read it, but it's probably really long. There's the 3rd season of the anime coming out, and I'm really happy about that, though I'm probably not going to watch it. I really want to wait for that to finish until I watch it, because I love history, and I like that, so I want to watch it. Am I watching Marvel's What If? No, I'm not really interested in comic book stuff, to be honest with you. Like, sometimes now and then I'll watch it, but it's just never been a big interest of mine. You saw the CM Punk debut last night. Yeah, my patron J-Chip told me about that, and I watched the video on it. That's pretty cool. I don't really think too much about CM Punk, aside from the fact that I appreciate that he's putting the straight edge lifestyle out there. I wouldn't consider myself straight edge, but I don't do any of the, people could consider me straight edge. So I appreciate that he's putting that out there. And I liked some of his matches in his old wrestling days, like when he did that strip club match. He's pretty entertaining, but he's just from an era of wrestling that I wasn't into, to be honest. Hey, Leon Harris, welcome to the stream. You've been around for a while, too. I remember your name. Gambling in anime is the best way to watch them, because you never know what you're going to get. Exactly. I just watched Speed Grapher, and it was a fun watch. I've been meaning to review that for a long time. That was one of those shows I watched on a hot summer. And I have some fond memories suffering, I'll tell you what. But I remember this hot summer. It was like 110 degrees. I had to turn everything off because the air conditioner wasn't working. And I couldn't do YouTube videos. You know, I did Otaku Tuesdays. But I was watching that anime, and it just took my mind away from the heat. That, a couple other anime that I watched during that time that I truly enjoyed, but, you know, like Soul Eater and stuff. And I did a review of that. I can understand that feeling. Sometimes if you know an anime will be good, there's really no need to rush on it. Exactly. And that's really counterproductive because I'm a YouTuber, and it's like I don't want to watch things because they're popular, but if I did, then I'd probably be more popular, but I gotta stay true to my heart in that regard. Do I play visual novels? I have played some visual novels. I honestly can't really... I want to find some that have really good stories, but I can't really do that because the thing is, I want to find ones that have good stories that also have, like, porn scenes in it, but I also don't want it to be, like, teens in it either. And the only visual novels that I've ever really played that I truly enjoyed were, like, really weird ones, like Bible Black and Hitomi Stepsister. Like, that's got some wild endings to it. But I don't keep up with visual novels, no. Though, I do think visual novels are an amazing format that are being underlooked, basically. Because you can... Any format, like video games, where you can choose your own options, are great. Case Study on Vanitas. Is that the vampire one? I don't know. If that is what I'm thinking about, I was turned off immediately due to the elegance of the aesthetic, and also, like I talked about with my Harmony, I just don't like highly elegant looking settings in anime, and also the silliness of it. It's just, it's a certain type of silliness that it just turns me off to it. Doki Doki Literature Club. I was turned away by that due to how, like, memed it was, but maybe it's good, I don't know. I'm more interested in checking out forgotten anime lately. I've been watching random anime OVAs from the 80s and 90s. That's a good way to do it, too. You know, there's lots of anime out there. People worked, you know, their self crazy on these anime, and then it's just sitting at the bottom of the barrel, and people are rating it like a 6 on Mal or something, when we could be raising awareness about it. Any anime ever, you just stop watching 2/3 of the way through, come back later just because it was too good? Stop watching because it was too good. I don't think I've ever... if it's incomplete, I will. Like, I feel like, hey, I'm enjoying this too much to watch it and then stop. Like, if that makes any sense. There's a visual novel called Divi Dead. That's really strange. Has a lot of stuff you mentioned. It's available on My Abandonware for free. That's cool. But the thing is, right now, it's like, I'm trying to focus... so that anime is really the only thing I do in life, to be honest with you. Like, my social life is like 2 people outside of YouTube, and that's really it. And I just focus everything that I have on YouTube. I play, every now and then, I'll play a little PS2 game just to unwind. 15 minutes, I set a 15-minute timer for that. But I don't see myself getting heavy into something that's not anime, because that's how... I love anime, and it's easy for me to do this, and, you know, that's the direction I want to take YouTube. So I kind of want to just... become one with Bobsamurai once again. So, if you want to call me a loser for that, that's fine. I don't really care. I'm in a realm where I don't really care about what people think of me as a person. That sucks about those forgotten older anime. Are the fan subbers going out of their way to provide English translation and going thankless? Yeah, the fan subbers, dude, they are really the unsung heroes. To be honest with you, to be 100% honest with you, because if it weren't for the fan subbers, then we would not have anime, to be honest. Because piracy is what created the anime licensing industry anyways. Where do I watch anime? I'm going to sound like an asshole for saying this, but I'm not sponsored enough to tell anybody that. When the way that I see these companies handing out money to different people, they ain't giving none to me, so I'm not giving none back to them. Wherever I watch anime is wherever, wherever you want to watch anime is fine with me. I really don't care. Also, it becomes a moral thing, too. It's like, you don't watch your anime on such and such sites, If you Google it and it's there, somebody worked hard on bringing it there, and, I don't know. Yeah, I do believe the animators should make more money, but they're not going to make it by us giving it to them, because it just goes into giving them more work. It's kind of like saying that I'm supporting McDonald's workers by going to McDonald's. They're not going to make more money because I buy more stuff. They're just going to have more work, if that makes any sense. Of course, they'd rather have a job than not have a job because they're there, but people get the wrong idea about it. And people get the wrong idea about sustaining the industry because of people back in the day that I was there when it was written, and it was like a popularity thing, and it was kind of like misinterpreting things for the purpose of popularity. With all the fan subs out there, I'm surprised there aren't any fan dubs. Yeah, all the fan subs out there, but I'm surprised because there's so many dubbers out there that are trying to get into voice acting, that why don't they just do amateur dubs? Like, don't do a bridge series. Don't chop it up and ruin it. Even if you do make it into something that is considered good, keep it what it is, dub it. But the problem is copyright. That's the issue right there. And if we were back in 2010 YouTube, you could have gotten away with it, but not anymore. I don't have anything against those anime companies, by the way. I have things against them, but I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't support them. The things I have against them are just that I don't really appreciate how they kind of pander to the lowest common denominator of anime fans, like the meme lord weeb sort of stuff, There's more people that watch anime than that. I watched Devilman Crybaby recently, and not all companies do that, by the way. Like, I love Discotech. That's probably my favorite company. I wish I could buy everything they put out there. I watched Devilman Crybaby recently and have never been so scared from a show. It's a crazy show. What do I think of it? I did not find it scary at all. I found it dark and enjoyable in kind of like a taboo sort of way. The way they had like those sex rituals and stuff. It's pretty awesome. I've been playing a lot of the Trails of games. Have you played some JRPG lately? What are your favorites? So, I haven't really played any JRPGs lately. Though, I do have save files on games that, I'll just pop in and grind now and then. But it's like I said, I really haven't been gaming that much lately. Though, I found a really nice 1080p TV. And I need to do a setup video one of these days, so it'll just come into context. Because I collect, like, older stuff that's, like, old. The technology that we have is so nice right now, like 4K monitors and stuff like that, but I don't need it because anime's not in 4K, so I just collect 1080p stuff. But I bought a 1080p monitor. It's a Samsung, it's like a 5 millisecond TV that's got DVI ports, AVI ports, also, I think it's called AVI, HDMI ports. It's got component input on it, so I can plug my PS2 up to it with, my RetroTink. Hopefully one of these days I can get a 5X, when I consider that to be a good investment. But I can plug that up into it and watch anime from that and everything. Wait, did I get another thing that hadn't popped up here? Okay, there we go. Wow, Dovetail, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I still remember your anime reviews you did with wearing the suits. Happy to see you back. Thank you. I appreciated that. Yeah, I should make a video about my anime journey one of these days and talk about the whole suit thing, because that was kind of like a transitionary period for me being a slob and just cleaning things up and realizing how different people treat you. And in a way it was bad because it all just feeded my ego, but at the same time it's kind of like, you're driving a car, you learn how to drive a car, you go too much to one side, too much to the other, and eventually you find your own way. But that was something that I think, there's a lot of things that men aren't taught, and how to take care of yourself and look good just isn't one of those things for the most part, because it's kind of seen as Or at least men of my era, anyways. It's like if you're trying to look nice, it's like you're trying to impress somebody and you don't want to trust that person or, you know, something like that. I do know, Bob, there's somebody that did a fan dub animated short of Animal Crossing movie, but they never actually got an official English dub, though. From what I hear of fan subbers, a lot of these companies that license shows will steal their subs. Like, they'll just steal it right away. I've heard that from a lot of people, and that's not right. So I think if they were to dub shows, they might just steal that as well. So what is their defense? You did this, but it's like, it's illegal, so... Some anime now are in 4K, but that's an exception for right now. Name some anime that are in 4K. I know there's one that was on Netflix. It was like a 2-minute long anime. I started Gundam 0079, and it's kind of boring. Should I drop it? Well, are you used to watching old shows? Do you feel like you're ready for what it's providing you? If so, then just put it on hold. Don't drop it because... You think it's boring. Because I would say that in the context of when the anime came out, it is the least bit boring. In fact, I would say that Gundam 0079, historically speaking, is responsible for anime getting as serious as it is today. Like, we love our serious stories, but people love to hate on mech. But if it weren't for Tomino, we would still be doing a lot of cartoons and stuff like that that are commercials for toys and things like that. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, there's Devilman, but Devilman doesn't really tell a serious story, in my opinion. Or at least the anime didn't. Maybe the manga. I don't know. There's Devilman. There's Rose of Versailles, also very serious. But there aren't too many stories that tell, you know, a linear, character-driven narrative that are dark in that way that come out from the 1970s. And then Gundam came along and totally changed everything. And maybe I'm wrong. If somebody wants to call me on this and prove me wrong, I would love to be proven wrong. That way I can learn more. But I contribute a lot of the maturity in anime to Tomino from that. Though, if you're not interested in what it's offering you right now, then put it on hold. Save it for a later date. Don't drop it and write it off as something that you don't like and is boring. Just save it for a later date and keep an open mind to it. You don't like it now, but one of these days I think maybe you will. And if not, that's fine. I'd love to see your anime journey. I appreciate how much growth you've had and we've seen in the last decade. Maybe I should do that. I feel really strongly against talking about myself in videos. It's just a change that's happened to me over the pandemic. It's just like, I just assume that it's not something that I should be talking about. I should be making videos that are something that entertaining for viewers, or when I'm in conversations with people, if I endlessly just talk about myself all the time, you know, that's not warranted either. So it's just like, I shouldn't go in depth about that sort of thing. But here I am on the live stream, so maybe I should. How long has the stream been going for? Maybe I should quit. Because I don't want to make a video that's too long that people will want to go back and watch. I don't know. Maybe 2 hours. If you were to make your own manga, what's an example of a topic and art style you would want to focus on? Of course, realistic art style, you know, that would be more my thing. But I would really love to make a story about a hikikomori. That's not... Every hikikomori in anime is like some sort of pedophile drug addict or something like that, and it really sucks. So I want to do it from a more realistic Western perspective. Basically, some of the experiences that I've had, you know, in life. But, you know, I was working on a story for that. But I just don't know what to do with the ending. Because if I make a story that's based off my own life, like, how would I make an ending for that? Like, Welcome to the NHK had an open ending. But would I be able to make an open ending that's as pleasing as that? I don't know. I could also just, you know, we did this exercise in previous streams before, you know, years ago, where somebody would name, like, a topic or something, and I would make an anime series about it, or I'd make a story about it off the top of my head. And I'm pretty good at doing that. I've got a great imagination with these things that I'm totally not utilizing. Have I checked out Junji Ito's new manga, Censored? I've heard of it, but I have not seen it yet. I'm trying to get back into reading more manga. I don't know how that's going to fit in with my anime channel, but I do have a vertical monitor right here just for reading manga and taking notes and things. I got Versailles on my hardware. I'm just waiting for the right time to watch it, since I heard from a lot of people it's a good anime. I have a review of it. Well, thanks for stopping by, Mark. I appreciate having you in the stream. I'm not gonna ask me your questions and stuff. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stick around here, because honestly, I gotta get back to work on these videos. I got a Patreon chat tonight at 6:30 p.m. on the Patreon Discord for those who'd like to join. By the way, I added the YouTube join button, and I also updated the Patreon, the tiers. So I went back to doing the things where people could recommend me to review anime, but only movies and 6 episodes OVA. Because I did longer series before, and it really burnt me out. People recommend me stuff I didn't want to watch, and I felt really torn in that situation. But I do have it set to where you can recommend movies for me to watch once a month. I think the idea of a Western hikikomori is a great idea. If you ever wanted help writing something, I'd like to give you some input. Yeah, that'd be cool. The thing is, if I were to write a story about that, I would really be outing myself as a piece of shit human being. So, like, I feel like maybe I should wait on that until, I'm much older, where I have nothing to gain from what people think about me or something like that. But the thing is, I think about that, and it's not that bad, to be honest with you. Like, if I were to compare myself to other people I've known, it's not that bad, but it's just like I put myself out there in ways that I don't want people to know me as, basically. And I think everybody feels that way to some extent. Do I still rate or go through people's anime list live? I don't have anything against doing that, and I thought it was fun. Take care, buddy. Don't overwork yourself. 16 hours is a lot, man. It doesn't feel like a lot, because I'm just sitting there watching anime. And I take breaks, I cook fresh food. I eat fresh food. And I take breaks, and, The thing is, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so if I'm working, I take a break. But what am I supposed to do for my break? If I go play a video game, that's the same thing as just me playing anime. If I focus on my social life, I honestly enjoy watching anime more. So we're back to square one. So I really am feeling right now the whole aspect of if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Though sleep is like one of my bigger issues here, because I have an insomnia problem. Back when you guys remember I was doing the videos once a week, and there were some times where I could only upload once every other week. There were times during each week where I would only sleep 3 days a week, just because I just couldn't sleep. I don't know what the problem was. I couldn't sleep. I was having terrible headaches and stuff like that, and I just couldn't keep up with the videos. But now that it's just like I'm focusing myself, I have a purpose, I'm taking better care of myself because I'm doing it for that purpose, and I'm sleeping better. And I also realized things because I was playing VR games like right before I'd go to bed, because I was so stressed out about not being able to sleep that I would play VR games and wear myself out so that I would just pass out. But I'd just wake up and not be able to sleep again. But there was a bad habit with that. Dude, I would play... What was I going to say? Something about VR. I don't know. Did I discover any new music these days? Yeah, I rediscovered anime music, which is partially... part of my reawakening in terms of how much I love anime is due to anime music. So I was just driving in the car. I usually never listen to music because I hate having lyrics bounce around in my head all the time when I'm trying to do other stuff. And most songs are people complaining about stuff. That's what's so nice about metal. You can't understand anything. But basically, I was listening to anime music, and I was driving, and I just felt like so emotional about it that it was just honestly overwhelming, because it was just this playlist that I had saved years ago on YouTube and had so many my favorite memories just being brought back to me. And I was just like, it was kind of like this epiphany moment that made me realize how much I love anime, because I always spend so much of my life struggling with that, because I see people who have nothing in their life but anime on the internet, and I don't like what I see. but yet I strive in my life to be balanced and, you know, well balanced with these things. And I work so hard for other things, but these other things that I had in my life, I just didn't feel, you know, there wasn't that same level of emotional strength to it. But yet anime, stories in anime, you know, some video games to that extent, like I experienced with Cyberpunk 2077, it really, like, it opened my emotional world to that, and I just felt like I never felt in a long time, and I just realized, like, this is right for me. And that sounds like, you know, loser material to somebody. I really don't care. Weed makes you lazy. I wouldn't know. I don't do anything. Don't smoke, drink, do anything. I try and take very good care of my body. I want to be a 110-year-old man watching anime. What are my thoughts on light novels? They're fine. You know, people love to stigmatize them. The thing about the anime community is so many people just copy off of each other in terms of, like, they'll hear an opinion. They'll think, oh, it's like this. I've been there too, so I can't really blame anybody, to be honest, because I'm older and I've been down that road myself. But a lot of people hate on visual novel or light novels because it's popular to hate on them, because somebody made it popular to hate on them. Not saying any names, but Legend of the Galactic Heroes was a light novel. Welcome to the NHK was a light novel. A lot of good anime were light novels, and there are a lot of good light novels out there. I don't actively read them because, you know, I love anime, but sometimes I will. I like the Edge browser, and I can load up a light novel there and just let it read through it, and I'll just kind of relax and go shut my eyes and lay down and just absorb it. I didn't know you play anime. I don't know what you mean by that. I was talking about earlier about the emotional connection to stories, I was also referring to, like, video games too. Like, I had a huge, great emotional experience with Cyberpunk 2077. People love to hate on the game, but it's got a great story. Leon Harris. I'm usually not a fan of anime soundtracks, but Neon Genesis Evangelion soundtrack, same Devilman Crybaby, Cowboy Bebop, NHK were my favorites. Yeah, so I don't really care too much for the soundtrack itself, but it's just like openings and stuff I listen to. You used to have a lot more views on your videos. What happened? Your content is pretty good. Well, it was just a series of getting burnt out. I got burnt out a couple different times, and I just couldn't make videos because I just couldn't stomach to do it. And I made a lot of mistakes that led to that. And a lot of the mistakes are me just seeing anime a way that it shouldn't be seen. A lot of those older videos, I was really too serious and just... I was being too critical about it. And when you try and take anime like that, you're just not going to enjoy it. And that was a problem that led to it. So I would get burnt out and I would quit making videos. And I'd feel bad about not making videos. So then I'd make videos about other things. Like I made kung fu movie reviews, horror movie reviews, like live action stuff, samurai movie reviews. Or not too many of those that I can remember. But I did other things. And people would unsubscribe because of that. I did videos just vlogging about my life that people saw as life advice videos. But that's not why I was necessarily making them. I was just kind of like doing it as a conversational thing. But I did a lot of that, and I lost a lot of subs and lost a lot of viewers because I really didn't appreciate what I had. And, you know, that's life. You kind of just learn from it. And hopefully one of these days I'll get back up there to be popular and have a lot of... I don't really care about popularity, but it is a necessary evil for me to get the message out about these anime. So I appreciate that you do like the content, but... you know, I came back to making videos as of December last year with Initial D, and I've been doing weekly, and now I'm doing daily, and it's going to be a year or so before I see any, like, substantial progress. I'm in the process of losing a lot of subs right now as I make this transition, but it is what it is. Of all the anime and manga I've seen you have in your collection, how often do I rewatch those, or keep consuming new stuff that comes out? Well, I don't really rewatch or reread a lot of the things that I have, to be honest, because I gotta get on a ladder, get something off my shelf, and then you put it into the DVD. It's a whole ordeal. Things online stream at the press of a button, and it's just easier to do it that way. It's just easier to have it, like, as data form. So that's one of the things that really hinder my progress as a collector, to be honest, though I will use it for reference. I rewatched Genshiken, the DVDs of that, when I did my review of that. But it's just like you have better versions of it online because it's in everything's, for the most part, in HD now or somebody's just remastered it or something. Not a light novel. Oh, well, my anime list has it as a light novel. My mistake. But check out ReZero. I need to check that out. I made the mistake of not giving it its due when I first watched it because, am I thinking about that? I might be thinking about another anime. It sounds similar to that, but I just didn't give it its fair watch when it came out. I was too critical. Do I exercise? I bought a treadmill for lockdown, and it's been great. Best thing I've ever bought in years. Best thing you bought in years. Yeah, I do exercise. Right now, I'm exercising with VR, which is getting me to the point where my hair is soaking wet, sweat dripping down my face. I have to change my clothes. I got to shower a couple times a day sometimes, and it's great. I do have an exercise bike also. I took that out of here because it's... I'm not using that right now because I just don't have the space for it, to be honest with you. But exercise bike or treadmill is a great thing to have when you're watching anime or playing video games. Hey, Enos for the win. Scry is out on Blu Ray. I know. I should have sold my DVD when I had the chance. Because I figured. What do I do with scratch discs? I don't really have scratch discs because I try and take care of it and buy everything in really good condition or new. But I haven't bought anything for a while, to be honest. I feel bad about that. Honestly speaking, I don't know how, like, I've got mixed feelings about this. Like, hypothetically, if I were to get to a point where I'm comfortable in living only off YouTube money, if I were to take a portion, like a percentage of that and reinvest it back into collecting stuff, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. Because, like, people have given it to me just to collect things. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I always reinvest in hardware, like my computer and stuff. I bought so much stuff this year. Probably like maybe upwards of $5,000 worth of stuff just for like video editing and making stuff. Do you think VR is a good investment? Is it worth the price? I paid $300 for my Oculus Rift, and they're coming out with a new one with more storage space on it for the same price, and it's got a better like eye socket padding thing, and for $300, same price. That is a tremendously great investment because I play it every single day. 15 minutes of pop, 20 minutes of pop. It's very easy, quick get in, get out. The games are nice. I haven't plugged it up to my computer yet because I still can't get a graphics card for a good price, but I think it's an amazing investment. But it's only as good, like anything else, it's only as good as the time you put into it. But the only games I play on VR are like exercise intensive games. Stride. I recommend Stride right now. That's probably my favorite game to play for exercise. Because in Stride, you got to run like this, and then you got to jump by doing that, and then you got to wall ride and stuff like that. So you pull your gun out and shoot and stuff like that. You're under arrest. Yeah, I heard good things about that too, so I do want to check that out. Budokai Tenkaichi. Don't remind me about that. I donated Budokai Tenkaichi 3 to Goodwill because, you know, I didn't... It was disc only, but... Yeah, don't remind me of that. And that's what we were talking about earlier because we had the Patreon chat and he was telling me about that. The pandemic was really interesting. Seeing people who are extroverts forced to kind of be in solitude for a bit. I think solitude is a tremendous gift that people are not utilizing to their fullest extent. Because they're too busy focused on what other people mean in their life instead of focusing on what they do for themselves in their own life. And maybe I'm biased because that's my life, you know, focus basically, my life track. But also a lot of introverts are just lonely extroverts. A lot of people are introverts kind of by default because they just can't have the social life that they want to have, and they're miserable with that. To an extent, I kind of used to be an extrovert when I was a kid. Well, partially. I felt more peace than ever when I was alone, but at the same time, I always wanted to be around people, always wanted attention from people when I was younger. So, maybe an ambivert, but right now I'm just like pure introvert. Like literally, aside from like 2 people, it's just... Maybe, like, actually 2 people, one of them related to me is I only talk to my viewers basically, and that's sometimes, that's often more than what I need, to be honest. Hey Bob, and he had the money when you upgrade your Quest to Valve Index. They say that's the best VR headset, but it's very expensive. I couldn't justify upgrading it. Like $300 for a headset, and I play it as much as I do. Like, maybe it's better, it's got better field of view or something like that, but where's the value? Where's the other, $700 coming from? Like, where am I getting that value from? I just don't see it. So the Quest 2 is really where it's at. You'd be surprised with how wild the retro gaming market is. Yeah, some of those, I am very surprised by it. I'm kicking myself in the butt every time I see Shadow Hearts, because I traded that game away to buy Shadow Hearts 2 to GameStop. What does your girlfriend think of anime YouTube? I am currently single, and I have no interest in that sort of thing, like, for any time soon. For the immediate future. What is your preferred console of choice at the moment, and why? The PlayStation 2. Always the PlayStation 2. Oh my god, the PS2. I love it so much. I was just talking earlier, I bought a TV just to play PS2 games at the desk here. But basically, PS2, it plays PS1 games, and it's just got so many great PS2 games in it. It's like two consoles in one. Two of the best consoles in one. One of the worst Dragon Ball games has one of the greatest OSTs. I found too long ago. Rip off Yu Hakusho song. Huh. If you have the money, go for the Index, though. I'd collect VR headsets if I had enough. If I had the money, then I would probably still be the same way, to be honest with you. Like, I could literally buy it right now. Like, I'm not gonna flex on you guys, but I could buy a lot of that right now. But it's not a good investment. And if I lived that way, then I wouldn't be able to do that stuff. For me, right now, I'm thinking about the future. I'm investing in stocks. I'm honestly kind of scared for the stock market. I'm so uneasy about things because I have lost money that in the past, that I got a decent amount just in the bank just sitting there because I'm like afraid. I don't know what to do with it because like after the pandemic, after seeing what that did to my stocks. But I'm just looking for ways to invest, and I just don't think a $1,000 headset is a great investment for me. If it is for you, then that's perfectly fine. Just like people spend $1,000 on anime a month, if that's what they want to do with the money they work hard on, that's fine. That's great. It's their choice. PS2 is awesome. Bob, have you checked out anime Drum Princess of Snow and Blood? It seems like people love or hate. I do want to check that anime out because it kind of reminds me. Is that the anime that reminds me of the old samurai movie Lady Snowblood? ETFs are good. ETFs. I'm in ETFs for the most part. I'm in VOO. Yeah, so yeah, I'm in VOO. Yeah, that's what I'm mostly in right now. Yeah, so 78% of my portfolio is in VOO. Well, $900 is basically $1,000 when you factor in the price of games and tax and stuff like that. But I am in a few individual stocks as well. Not financial advice, by the way. I'm in Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, NIO. Microsoft, NVIDIA, AMD, those are where I've got, hundreds, possibly thousands into. The rest of these, I don't have much into it. NEO, a few airlines. I got a couple nuclear companies on here. But, for the most part, anything that's over $100 is the big companies I just named, which I consider them to be more blue chip sort of things. Microsoft, I think, Microsoft has my biggest holding in terms of comparing it to, like, single business stocks. Because I've had good success with, you can't really judge the future off the past, but good to have 3 to 6 emergency fund in the bank. Yeah, I do, but I just, at the rate I'm going now, I'm getting, the way I see the stock investment that I have right now, it's like retirement stuff, basically, because I struggled a lot. over the years. And the only reason I even have any of this is because I inherited some property and I sold that. So I'm holding on to this for dear life and trying to make the most out of it because I don't know where I'm going to get more. Wait, am I muted? Oh, mute event sounds. I guess you can hear me. You really remind me of this YouTuber, Oliver Pepperoni. You two should collab. Yeah. I think I'm done with Oliver Pepperoni bits for a while. I realized this when I did the video with SSJ Goshen 4 with Oliver Pepperoni, and I just like, this is hard work, and people skip to the part where Pepperoni wasn't in it. And people take it seriously, too. Like, people still take Oliver Pepperoni seriously. What do I think about inflation? Do I think it'll get worse? I think it'll get worse before it gets better. AMD making me so much money. Bought at $15. You bought AMD at 15? Dude, what am I in at? I'm not at 15, I'll tell you that. Shit, I'm at like 80 bucks. I got like 6 shares of it. From the Fallout franchise. I'm not really interested in the Fallout franchise because I don't like it aesthetically. But I don't really play games like that anymore. I've just decided that I'm just not going to play games anymore. Samurai Warriors 5 came out, and I was debating, buying that, but the only games that I'm really interested in playing are just, like, idle little games that I can play, like a PS2 game, like, grind for a few minutes just to give my mind a little refresher, because I need little boosts here and there, little stimulus boosts while I'm working all day long on stuff. But for the most part, I'm only interested in VR games for the sake of exercise. Though, I think VR has massive potential when it comes to RPGs in the future. Like, I'd love to play Cyberpunk in VR. If you get a house, you can rent it and make passive income. Get a property manager. Yeah, I'd love to honestly just buy a house. Like, if I ever bought a house, I'm thinking that I would just rent it out and just continue being here. I don't see myself getting to that point anytime soon, though. But I'd have to get a property manager or something, because I'm not interested in running, like, property management or stuff like that, but I am interested in the profits that it would bring me, so that's probably what I would do. Yes, Lady Snowblood. She has the demonic-type powers. I liked it because I didn't have anime yelling in it. Yeah, I don't really like all the yelling and stuff in anime. My average cost is not 15 anymore, though it's 14 nowadays for AMD. That's pretty nice. I bought more since months ago. I should be buying more in stocks, to be honest, because we dipped hard a couple days ago. It was like 2%. Well, I don't know if you consider that hard, but I woke up and felt like I was going to have to clean poop off the ceiling, because I look up and look at this and I'm like $800 down, like first thing in the morning. I plan to get a Switch because of Metroid Dread. That's cool. If I ever played Dark Souls or any other From Software games, I love From Software games. Dark Souls mostly, but Dark Souls is my favorite of the trilogy. I beat Dark Souls live streaming it. I own some AMC stocks. Oh, I tried AMC and all this other stuff. I tried that when I was day trading. Let me see if I can show you. So, this was the massive... I don't want to... See, there's a massive dip right here that I was in through day trading. I did not do good. Like, I did good at first, but then I had more money come in, and that kind of just made me a little crazy with it. But I'm in the... I'm up as a whole, like, 3.6%, and I've worked my way out of that hole just by letting it sit there. So I've been doing good. Like, for the past 3 months, it's just only gone up for the past 3 months. And that's just me not even bothering at it. Like, sometimes it'll dip hard and I'll just buy more, because I'm finally, like, comfortable with it. Because I really don't see a lot of future in AMC movie theaters and stuff like that. Not only because everything's online now, but because I don't spend my money there. VOO, it's like, if VOO crashes, then the value of our money is not going to be that great anyway. So it's just like, may as well, right? Because that's basically the S&P 500. Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, I've all invested money into these companies and will continue to invest money into those companies. So it's a no-brainer for me. Just put it in there. VR is a good expense for 1 or 2 times. Not worth... It's a good experience 1 or 2 times, not worth buying. That's a subjective thing. And, if you don't like it, that's fine. I can't wait for Nintendo to get into VR. That's gonna be cool. AMC being that high is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't. People are explaining The Big Short, and I just don't see a lot of. I just can't get into that because my threshold for losing money is very low. I don't like to lose money because it's really hard for me to make it. Echo Knight is my favorite From Software game because of your streams. Oh yeah, that's right, that is a From Software game. I love that game. That's actually my favorite From Software game. Do I have any rare anime? I have Go Lion. That's probably one of my more rare anime DVDs. Cell phone companies are good. Yeah, probably. But at the same time, I used to invest in some Apple, and then I realized the ethical things that they're doing to their workers and stuff like that, and I just can't support that, so I got out because I just felt bad about it. GameStop, yeah, I don't really. That's the thing about GameStop. There's supposedly a ton of like money to be made in that with the short that was going on or whatever, and it was true. It went crazy for a while, but I just I didn't like the way they treated their employees, but I did buy some GameStop because I hated the brokers even more, shorting everything. How much do I invest per year? I don't really invest per year. I just kind of I get money and sometimes I stick it in, sometimes I don't. But I've got enough in stocks right now to buy a couple cars, but I consider that to be my retirement fund, so. I mean, the thing is I really don't do very well at bringing money in, and I just kind of got lucky a couple times, honestly. I got lucky rolling the dice on a few stocks, and got lucky rolling the dice in life, basically, just inheriting a property to sell. So, I see this money as something to be treasured, and it needs to go towards the future. Of course, I invested in YouTube stuff, too, but I see that also as an investment in the future. It's better to set a goal if you're getting into stocks. You don't want to get greedy. Yeah, it's very easy to get greedy, but I'm probably talking about this way too much, and people probably aren't that interested. Yeah, we're dropping down to 30 viewers. But, yeah, I think I'm going to end this now. I'm going to get back to working on a video, and I'm probably going to get back to working on my Neon Genesis Evangelion video. I'm not sure when that's going to come out, but I'm also going to be working on X 1999, the movie, for this week as well. Yeah. Yeah, the pandemic made a lot of people millionaires the way the stock market is. I guarantee that. A lot of people who had maybe like $1,000 to their name became millionaires during the pandemic. It's crazy. But, yeah, I'll see you guys another time. I'll do another live stream, whenever, not too often, but often enough that, we can chill like this and have fun. Anyways,